शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अनाश्रितः कर्मफलम् कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः। पूर्व पक्षी contends that everyone should do karma until death. यावज्जीवं विहितं कर्म अनुष्ठेयम. This was Purva Paksha. Then Siddhanti refuted Purva Pakshi's contention, quoting Shloka 3 of this chapter. In Shloka 3 of this chapter, there is a distinction between Arurukshu and Arudha. Yogam Arurukshuhu and Yogarudha. For Arurukshu, karma is told, and for Arudha, shama is told. Therefore, Siddhanti says karma is not told for everyone. Then Purva Pakshi gave a different interpretation of the shloka. He said, Tatra ashraminam kaschit yogam arurukshur bhavati arudhascha kaschit अन्ये न आरुरुक्षवः न च आरूढाः तान् अपेक्ष्य आरुरुक्षोः आरूढस्य च इति च विशेषणं विभागकरणं च उपपद्यते एव इति चेत्. पूर्वपक्ष. According to Purva Pakshi, there are 3 types of people: Arurukshuhu, Arudhaha, and none of the two. So 3 categories. And to distinguish the third category, to exclude the third category, Krishna said Arurukshuhu and Arudha. The Visheshana Arurukshuhu and Arudha, they are not meant for separating Arurukshu from Arudha. Instead, they are meant for excluding the person who is neither Arurukshu nor Arudha. Then according to Purvapakshi, both Arurukshu and Arudha, there are three types of people. One type of person is excluded. The other two type of people should do Shama and Karma. Then Siddhanti says, Na tasyaiva iti vachanat punaryoga grahanacha yogarudhasya iti. Siddhanti says it is not so. Your categorization into three is not correct. Because tasyaiva iti vachanat, in Shloka 3, Krishna is not talking about the three types of people. Krishna is talking about only one person. Tasyaiva iti vachanat. Since there is tasyaiva, Arurukshu and Arudha, both are same. They are not different. The same person who is Arurukshu, he becomes Arudha. So, only one person is addressed. Then Purvapakshi will say, see here we have to read between the lines. So Purvapakshi may say, Tarihi, I am just making my own sentences, it's not there in the Bhashya. Tarihi ekasyaiva ubhavapi vihitam sati asmadishtamapadyeta. So Siddhanti said, since tasyaiva is mentioned, the same person is addressed. Then Purvapakshi says, then that is what we are telling. The same person should do Shama and Karma. It is Asmadishtam. It is what we want. If you say Shama and Karma, both are meant for the same person, then Asmadishta Siddhi, Purvapakshi will say. Because Samuchaya is established. So Tasyaiva iti vachanat, then we have to supply some Purvapakshi. Then, okay, that is what we want. Krishna is giving Shama and Karma for the same person. Then Siddhanti will say, Naivam, it is not so. Arudhasya arurukshoha iti kala bhedena vihitatvat or avastha bhedena vihitatvat. So Shama and Karma, though they are enjoined for the same person, tasyaiva, yet we are not telling Samuchaya. Why? Kala arudhasya and arurukshoho iti avastha bhedena shama karma shamayoho vihitatvat. They are not meant for the same person simultaneously. Na kaschana yugapadeva arudha arurukshushcha bhavati. So they are given in two different avasthas, in two different stages. Because one cannot be Arurukshu and Arudha at the same time. If one can be Arurukshu and Arudha at the same time, then Samuchaya would have been possible. But one cannot be Arurukshu and Arudha at the same time. Yet, therefore, though both are enjoined for the same person, they are not meant to be done at the same time. They are meant for different states. The same person, when he is Arurukshu karma, when he is Arudha, he has to take to Shama. Then Purvapakshi may say, Ashvam Arudha Gajam Arurukshu iti Tayor Yogapadyam Syat. Purvapakshi may say, Arurukshu and Arudha, one can be both at the same time. How? Ashvam Arudha Gajam Arurukshu. He is sitting on the horse, Ashvam Arudha. But he wants to climb on a Gaja, elephant. So, though he is Arudha, he is Arurukshu. Ashvam Arudha Gajam Arurukshu iti Arudhatva Arurukshatvayoho Yogapadyam Syat. Purvapakshi may say. Then Siddhanti says, here it is not like that. Here it is not Ashwa and Gaja. Here we are talking about only yoga. No. Yogarudhasya iti punaryoga shabdagrahanat. Then you have to come here. See, punaryoga shabdagrahanat cha yogarudhasya iti. So here you cannot quote the example Ashvam Arudha Gajam Arurukshu, because here the Arudha and Arurukshu we are talking about is about yoga only. Yogarudha Yogam Arurukshu. One cannot be Yogam Arudha and Yogam Arurukshu. One cannot be both at the same time. And it is very clear by saying Punaha Yoga Shabda. By saying Yoga Shabda once again. See, if Krishna had told Yogam Arurukshoha Karma Karanamuchyate Arudhasya Shamah Karanamuchyate, then Purvapakshi could have contended here Arudha is something else, not Yoga Arudha. But since Punaha Yoga Shabda is mentioned, Purvapakshi cannot bring up that objection. So Yogarudhasya iti Punaha Yoga Shabda Grahanat. From this, what is clear? Both are enjoined for the same person, but in two different stages. And he clarifies it. Yaha asit purvam yogam arurukshu. The one who was previously yogam arurukshu, the same person, tasyaiva arudhasya, when he becomes yoga arudha, shama eva kartavyam karanam yoga phalam prati uchyate. Then for him, shamaha eva kartavyam karanam. The karana, the means, yoga phalam prati, for the yoga phala, it is shama uchyate. Therefore, Purvapakshi's contention is not correct. अतः न यावज्जीवं कर्तव्यत्व प्राप्तिः कस्यचिदपि कर्मणः. Therefore means based on the distinction made in Shloka 3, यावज्जीवं कस्यचिदपि कर्मणः कर्तव्यत्व प्राप्तिः नास्ति. No karma is enjoined for lifetime. Nobody is obliged to do the karma all one's life. So this is one reason. He discussed one reason why yavajjiva kartavyatva prapti is not there. Now he is giving another reason. Yoga vibhrashta vachanacha.
Yoga vibhrashta vachanacha.
Grihasthasya
chet.
Karminaha.
Yogo
vihitaha. Shashthe adhyaye. Saha yoga vibhrashtopi. Karmagatim. Karmaphalam. Prapnoti iti. Tasya nasha shanka. Anupapanna syat. Another reason why everyone is not expected to do karma. Yoga vibhrashta vachanacha. This is a sangraha vakya. The reason is given in brief. Yoga vibhrashta vachanat. Since there is a statement of yoga vibhrashta. Yoga vibhrashta means one who has slipped from yoga. One who has deviated from yoga, diverted from yoga. He is called yoga vibhrashta. He has started yoga. Here yoga means dhyana. So he has started the pursuit of dhyana, but he could not culminate in the result. So such a person is yoga vibhrashta. Tasya vachanam. So there is a mention of yoga vibhrashta in chapter 6. So now this reason is elaborated. So according to Purvapakshi, both jnana and karma, both are enjoined for a grihastha. Instead of jnana, we are saying dhyana or yoga. Both are same. Because dhyana is an integral part of the pursuit of jnana. Antaranga sadhana of jnana. Therefore, instead of saying jnana, here Siddhanti says yoga or dhyana. So, according to Purvapakshi, both are meant for a grihastha only, because he accepts samuchaya. A grihastha should do karma, and along with that he should do dhyana also, yoga also. So then Siddhanti says, if it is meant for a grihastha, if yoga is meant for a grihastha, here we should be clear about the meaning of yoga, not Shirshasana yoga, not even karma yoga. Here yoga is jnana, nididhyasana. If nididhyasanam yoga is meant for a grihastha, then grihastha has both karma and yoga, both. He has both karma and yoga, because grihastha cannot give up karma. So he has to do both karma and yoga. Then even if he deviates from yoga, even if he does not culminate in the successful practice of yoga, even then he has the punya of karma with him. Therefore, he cannot become ubhaya vibhrashta. He has something to support in his afterlife. If not yoga, he has the karma. Therefore, the question regarding yoga bhrashta cannot be justified if yoga is meant for a grihastha or a karmi, implying that yoga is not enjoined for a karmi. Instead, yoga is enjoined for one who has given up karma. When he is taking to yoga, he has given up karma. Means he has taken sannyas. He has taken up sannyasa, given up karma, and he is practicing yoga. Then, if he has not accomplished yoga successfully, he does not have both, because he has given up karma. He has not done sufficient karma to support him in the life hereafter. And he does not have the yoga phala also, because he has deviated from yoga. Therefore, in such a case only, yoga vibhrashta vachana is meaningful. So this is implication. We have to understand implication. Yoga vibhrashta vachana implies all this. The implication of the question regarding yoga bhrashta implies that yoga is meant for someone who does not do karma. So, grihasthasya chet karminaha yogaha vihitaha. See, all these are arthapatti. This is called arthapatti. So, a particular statement, it cannot be justified without accepting a particular fact, without presuming a particular fact. That is how we do arthapatti. So there is a statement of yoga bhrashta. It is not possible unless this is intended. So it is called shrutarthapatti. You are making an arthapatti based on a particular statement of the Shastra. So, grihasthasya chet karmanaha yogo vihitaha shashthe adhyaye. In shashtadhyaya, shashthe adhyaye, grihasthasya karmina, a grihastha who is a karmi, Here grihastha is not that important. Karmi is more important. Suppose yoga is meant for a karmi, and karmi is typically a grihastha. Yoga vihitaha. If yoga is enjoined for such a person, then saha yoga viprashtopi.
Saha yoga viprashtopi.
We have not read this. We have read this. Saha yoga viprashtopi karma gatim karma phalam prapnoti. Then that kind of a grihastha, even though he is yoga viprashta, even if he has lost yoga, he has karma phala to support him. Karma phalam, and because of karma phala, karma gatim prapnoti, he will attain the karma gati. The gati facilitated by his karma. He will go to higher loka. Therefore, he has nothing to worry. He has the backup of karma phala. The backup of karma phala will save him. It is like, hanging on the trapeze. There is some net, so it will protect. So, karma gatim karma phalam prapnoti iti. Therefore, tasya nasha shanka anupapanna syat. Tasya nasha shanka, the doubt regarding his nasha, the fear of nasha, downfall. Here nasha means adhogati. Adhogatya shanka anupapanna. The nasha shanka raised by Arjuna, it is anupapanna. It is not justifiable. So, why nasha shanka anupapanna? Bhashyakara explains. Avashyam hi kritam karma kamyam nityam va swam phalam arabhate eva. Avashyam hi kritam karma काम्यम नित्यं वा मोक्षस्य नित्यत्वात् अनारभ्यत्वे स्वं फलम् आरभते एव. So this is answer to a possible objection by the Purva Pakshi. The Purva Pakshi may say, though the Grihastha, he is performing karma along with the dhyana, along with the yoga, he is doing karma also. But that karma will not give him the karma phala, because that karma is performed for the sake of moksha. Since the karma performed by a mumukshu is for the sake of moksha, it will not give other phala in the form of better gati hereafter. Therefore, even for a grihastha, nasha shanka is valid. This is Purva Paksha. Here we have to understand the Purva Paksha properly. then only one can enjoy the bhashya. So Purva Pakshi says, a grihastha is doing karma. The karmi is doing karma. May or may not be a grihastha. His being a grihastha is not very important for us. So he is performing karma along with the dhyana, along with yoga. But since he is a mumukshu, the karma that he is performing, it is for the sake of moksha. Therefore, the karma performed with the aim of moksha cannot give any other phala, because according to Purva Pakshi, the phala of the karma is determined by what intention you do the karma with. If you are performing the karma for the sake of moksha, the karma has to produce only moksha. It cannot produce any other phala. Therefore, the karma performed by this mumukshu karmi, it cannot produce its regular phala. The regular phala of the karma is in the form of better gati hereafter, like swarga ityadi. So this karma cannot produce swargadi phala, because it is done for moksha. Therefore, even though the grihastha has done karma, he cannot get the phala. He may not get the phala. Therefore, the nasashanka is there even with respect to the karmi. He has done karma and he has done yoga also. But the karma he has done is for moksha. Therefore, if he has not attained moksha, where will he go? Then Siddhanti says, this objection is not valid, because moksha is not the result of any karma. Moksha is not the result of any karma. Therefore, no karma can be done for the production of moksha. Therefore, even if the karmi has performed nitya karma or kamya karma, whatever type of karma the karma yogi has performed, even though his goal is moksha, irrespective of moksha being his goal, the karma should produce its regular result. And the regular result of karma is in the form of karmagati. See, mokshasya nityatvat anarabhyatve. Moksha is a nitya. Therefore, it is anarabhya. Anarabhya means it is not produced by any karma. Therefore, the result of any karma cannot be moksha. In the meantime, the karma has to produce some result. Whether it is done as kamya karma or whether it is done as nishkama karma, it will produce some result. And that result will be the karma gati. So, mokshasya nityatvat anarabhyatve sati kritam karma, the karma which is performed, avashyam, definitely, whether it is kamya or nitya, kamyam nityam va karma, if it is kritam, it is done, swam phalam arabhate eva, definitely it will produce its result. It is like anichchayapi samsprishtaha dahatyeva hi pavakaha. The fire, whether you like it or not, if you touch it, it will burn. Similarly, karma has its efficacy to produce the result. If you do it with Ishwararpanam buddhi, it will have a better result. That is what he is going to say. See, you might have studied in Vedanta Sara. Nityadinam karmanam param prayojanam chitta shuddhi. Avantaram phalam Swargadi loka prapti. So nitya karma etc. They will have two phalas. One is mukhya phala. The mukhya phala is chitta shuddhi. Avantara phala, the secondary result, is Swargadi Loka Praptihi. You can refer to Vedanta Sara. I don't know whether I have quoted correctly the exact words, but this is the message given there. So Nityadi Karma have twofold results. So, karma will definitely give its result. Then Purvapakshi cannot say the karma done for moksha will produce only moksha. It cannot give other result. Therefore, if it does not produce moksha, that karma is wasted. Because karma is never done for moksha. Though the goal may be moksha, but the karma is not. One may have moksha as a goal while performing karma. But that does not mean the karma is done for producing moksha. There is a difference. Karma performed with moksha as the goal is different from karma performed for the sake of producing moksha. Karma cannot be done for producing moksha. The goal can be moksha indirectly, but the karma phala cannot be moksha. So moksha is nitya. Therefore, karma phala cannot be moksha. It has to be something else. When it is something else, what it should be? It is the regular result of the karma. नित्यस्य च कर्मणः
नित्यस्य च कर्मणः
वेदप्रमाणावबुद्धत्वात्
वेदप्रमाणावबुद्धत्वात्
फलेन भवितव्यम्
फलेन भवितव्यम्
इति अवोचाम
इति अवोचाम
अन्यथा
अन्यथा
वेदस्य अनर्थार्थत्वप्रसंगादिति
अनर्थक्यप्रसंगादिति
So now Purva Pakshi may say the karma that this mumukshu is performing, it is nitya karma. The mumukshu is not performing kamya karma. He is performing only nitya karma and naimittika karma. And Purva Pakshi says the nitya karma and naimittika karma, they don't have phala. Then why they have to be performed? We had this discussion before. You can locate where it is. So according to Purva Pakshi, nitya karma and naimittika karma don't have phala. Then we have already refuted. Bhashyakara is just reminding us. You cannot say nitya karma don't have phala. See, according to Purva Pakshi, nitya karma is akarane pratyavayanamata. If you perform, it does not have any positive result. But if you don't perform, you will get pratyavaya. So he may raise this objection. Nitya karma don't have any phala. Therefore, yoga vibhrashta vachana is upapannam, he may say. Then Siddhanti says, nityasya cha karmanaha, even the nitya karma, it has phala. It has positive result. Why? Veda pramanava buddhatvat. Because it is revealed by Veda Praman. It is known from Veda Praman. Therefore, phalena bhavitavyam, it should have phala. Iti avochama. We have discussed this before. Anyatha, otherwise, if nitya karma does not have phala, then Vedasya anartharthatva prasangat iti, then Veda will become anarthaka, redundant, because Veda is enjoining something which does not have phala, then that Veda is meaningless. The Vedic injunctions become redundant. So this has come before, previously. You can locate where it is. Nacha karmani sati ubhaya vibhrashtavachanam arthavat karmanaha vibhramsha karananupapattehe. So karmani sati, if there is karma, then ubhaya vibhrashta vachana. So now he is speaking ubhaya vibhrashta vachana. So far yoga vibhrashta vachana is discussed. Now another, so yoga bhrashta itself is not possible. Then there is another mention in the same question. Ubhaya vibhrashtaha. Ubhaya vibhrashtaha means lost both. Ito nashtaha tato bhrashtaha. Lost both. He is called Ubhaya vibhrashta. So karmani sati. When there is karma, then Ubhaya vibhrashta vachana does not make any sense. Because karmanaha vibhramsha karananupavatte. Because even though he may deviate from the yoga, there is no reason for slipping from karma. Because he is performing karma. From yoga, he may get deviated because of whatever reason. But he does not deviate from the karma because he is performing the karma. So, karmanaha vibhramsha karananupavatte. There is no reason for vibhramsha, slipping from the karma. Therefore, ubhaya vibhrashta vachanam na arthavat. This is another reason why yoga is not told for karmi. So, Purva Pakshi will ask now. Karma kritam Ishvare sanyasya ityataha kartari karma phalam na arabhate iti chet. So now Purva Pakshi is raising objection once again. Even though he is performing karma, he does not get karma phala. Why? Kritam karma ishvare sanyasya ityataha. So for a karma yogi should offer the karma to Ishvara. It is repeatedly told in Gita. Therefore, a karma yogi offers all the karma to Ishvara. Since he has offered all the karma to Ishvara, the karma will not give phala. Therefore, a karma yogi, even if he has performed karma, since he has given it to Ishvara, he won't have phala. Therefore, Ubhaya vibhrashta vachanam is meaningful. Purva Pakshi is raising once again. So, kritam karma ishvare sanyasya ityataha. So, kartari karma phalam na arabhate. So, since the karma is offered to Ishvara, the karma does not give phala to karta. Instead, the karma will give phala to Ishvara because it is given to Ishvara. So, if you have earned money, but you have given it to somebody else, then you cannot buy anything with that money. The person to who you have given, he will be able to buy something with the money. Likewise, if I have done karma and offered it to Ishvara, it cannot earn anything to me. The phala should go to Ishvara, not to me. Therefore, a karma yogi, though he has performed karma, he has no karma to support for himself. Therefore, he can be Ubhaya Vidbhrashta. He has lost karma also, he has offered it to Ishvara. In the meantime, he has done dhyana also, but the dhyana has not gone well. So dhyana also has failed, karma he has given up, therefore no support. So, see, in all these, Purva Pakshi is trying to justify that the Yoga Bhrashta Vachanam or Ubhaya Vidbhrashta Vachanam, it can be justified in the case of Karmi also. If yoga is enjoined for a Karmi. So then Siddhanti says, Na Ishvare Sannyasasya Adhikatara Phalahetuttvopapattehe. Siddhanti says, no, it is not so. Because if you offer the karma to Ishvara, it should give better result. Ishvare Sannyasasya Adhikatara Phalahetuttvopapattehe. So, what is more reasonable is if you offer it to Ishvara, it has Adhikatara Phalahetutva. It becomes a hetu for, it becomes a means for Adhikatara Phala, greater result. Then Purva Pakshi does not leave. Mokshaya eva iti chet Swakarmanam Kritanam Ishvare Nyasaha Mokshaya eva Na Phalantaraya Yoga Sahitaha Yogacha Vibhrashtaha Ityataha Tam Prati Nasha Shanka Yukta eva iti chet Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.